Hello and welcome to IIABCAL Voices here on JLJ Media. I am James Lott Jr. I'm your host, and IIABCAL has a lot of members here in California, and we're deciding to spotlight some of them in the upcoming weeks. And I get to talk to somebody who is a member, who's from San Diego, with Fusco and Orsini Insurance Services, and she's been vice president for the last about 10 years, and before that, she was a broker for about 12 years. So help me welcome Ms. Valeri Orsini. Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
So number one, you're a vice president of this company. So we'll get to that in a second. But first, how'd you get into insurance?
I applied in a newspaper ad. Yeah, remember those?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. That's a first in the series, this whole series. That's a first. Wow. Okay.
So I applied in the newspaper, and I was currently going to college to be a psychologist in state penitentiaries.
Wow.
Yeah. And while I was going through college, I had, kind of some long-term part-time / full-time jobs I was doing. And I was like, I need something more stable. The person I was working for is a mom and pop video audio production company. They were folding. So I applied and I was hired, and it was interesting. I was doing certificates for about 1.5 years. And then one of the producers asked if I wanted to join his team and start selling insurance. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. That sounds like hard. I don't know if that's really stable. Service seems like it's always going. I don't know. We always be able to sell policies. So I joined his team eventually, and it was the best move I made. And I ended up not finishing college because the salary was going up and up and up. So I was like, my friends are in debt and I am not. So
okay, there you go. Mm-hmm.
And I really like this career. These are fun people to talk to. The clients were fun. So, I stayed with it.
Okay, I want to know, what did the ads say? Do you remember what the ads said? I'm very curious about that.
So do I need to give the year?
Oh my God,
it was in the 90s.
Okay, we'll go general talk, because I think when you say newspaper, I think for most folks know it wasn't the last like 5 years. So
yeah,
we'll say back in time.
Yeah, back in time, it was for the hourly rate. I want to say it was like $8 an hour, and it was to do certificates of insurance / service rep.
Okay.
Full-time position.
Oh wow, that's so funny. Wait, so we did back in the day, folks, used to look in newspapers for job opportunities, for places to live. Newspapers were really important. They really were.
They were. They were.
Yeah. Okay, so then you got into insurance. You started to like it. And you were a broker for about 12 years. What is one thing you learned from that experience of selling insurance and being a broker?
The key thing to know as a broker is know your programs. The programs are always changing. And if you don't know your program, you're going to lose that client. That's what I learned.
That's very smart. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good. So now you're vice president. So what exactly, people have always asked me, like, there's president, vice president, I think, but what does a vice president do at your?
It's really a title. My business partner and I are 50-50 owner. So when you form a corporation, you have to have a title, right? So basically, it's a 50-50 job. So, we've broken our roles up in the agency. So, he does his part and I do my part, and we both do sales together. We've never stopped that. So that's very important.
Yeah, it's good.
In leadership,
In San Diego, there's a lot of agencies in San Diego. I know many people who work down there and live down there. And so what is it like for you guys down there in the San Diego area? Because San Diego is actually kind of broad. There's you got La Mesa, and you have this, you have that. What is it, like for you?
Like in terms of selling to clients, or? Yeah, well, we don't just sell in California. We sell throughout the United States. I think we're licensed now in like 19 states.
Wow, okay, good.
So, and that clientele is different, especially during the pandemic. So when certain states were fully open, their business never stopped. And then you look at California and the restaurants are shut down. And, if a certain brokerage, if that was their main, bread and butter, they struggled during the pandemic because now those receipts went down, comp went down, everything went down. So and also just the different mentalities you're dealing with across the United States is interesting.
We'll say that. Interesting is the word.
Yeah.
I used to work with CE for continuous CE for insurance through, I think it was 36 states. And you're right. Every state has their own way of doing things.
Yes.
It's fascinating, but it can sometimes be a little challenging. Yes.
Oh yeah, it can be.
California. I mean, are you from California?
I am.
Oh, yeah. So behind us. We're
Yeah.
We're natives.
We're our own country in its own right. So we have a little bit different rules over here, but so do other people. So
it's very true.
yeah.
So they always say insurance is a great industry. Like like you said, you want stability. Some people want family. Some people just want something that's a thing. Do you agree with that statement? That insurance is a great industry for
sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes, I think so. I think if you are going to choose some type of office position, insurance is ever changing. It's never boring. And the clients that you talk to, you're selling different products to, and their business changes, it's just different. It's not boring. You're not going to look into your email box and see the same thing coming through every day, right? There might be an outline of the same thing, but it's never going to be the same. And that keeps it interesting.
Yeah. A lot of jobs are like that. Industries are like that.
No.
Every day, you're basically just in a routine. And I asked, was it like for you as a woman in the industry?
That's an interesting question. How do I answer that politically correct?
This show, we want to know just because we want other women who watch this so that they know that they're not alone, or they can go, yeah, I relate to that too, or.
Yeah. I definitely would say there's definitely more male brokers in the industry, but I feel like there's more female underwriters in the industry, right?
Yeah.
And there's definitely a lot of female marketing reps in the industry. I guess you just need to find that balance, but I would say that being a female in the industry, you're not taken seriously at all. I was on a business trip a few years ago and my agency won this trip, and only one of the owners could go, and I went. And all of the other owners on this trip were all male. They thought I was the event planner when I showed up. Oh, it was great. It was great. I was like, no, odd, I won this just like you did.
6 foot tables, please, and can I get some coffee?
Right. No. What's next on our itinerary? I'm not that one. That's her over there.
Oh wow, that's interesting. But hopefully that'll start changing. Hopefully that will change and evolve and that kind of thing. So insurance is the thing for you, isn't it? I mean, you're in it. You own an agency. You're in it. And what advice do you give to anybody who is thinking about getting into insurance?
It's not a 9-to-5 job, especially if you're in sales. And you kind of take your work home with you. It's definitely, you go on vacation and you might get a phone call from someone backing you up saying, what did you do with this? I, as an owner, I don't really go on vacation. I go, but my laptop's right next to me.
Me too. I do the same thing. Me too.
Right. And your cell phone's there. So, I do kind of miss the days of just a landline. I think I've only taken one full vacation with no one bothering me, and that's because I couldn't get service. So it's definitely a grind type of business, but it's very fulfilling at the same time.
I was gonna say it's very rewarding. I mean, it's very fulfilling, very rewarding.
Right.
And and there's trade-offs in that. I mean, there's times you could take off a couple hours during the day if you had to for an event. I mean, there's things.
Right.
There's balance.
Oh yeah.
There's balance. Sure. I mean, it's just kind of. It's just but it's one. I'm glad you said it, because it's not 9 to 5. And I was in the industry for 11 years. There are many times, you just had to take it home with you and get a phone call. Just get a phone call, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, Valerie, thank you so much for being on the show. We're glad to be able to hear your IABCAL voice. So thank you for that. See, I did that, folks. I did that. Where can they find you online, or where can they find you guys?
You can find us at www.foagency.com. You'll see everyone's, biography on there and contact information.
Perfect. So go there, folks. You want some business? Go there.
You want the business?
What's up, business? Go to her. Go to them. Give them some business. So I want to thank Valerie for being on the show. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me where all James Lott Juniors are at James Lott Jr. everywhere. And IIABCAL.org is the website for the Big I of California. Everyone, please take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.